Jakob. Thank you for joining us for this interview. We're making this interview for the Unileco project so that we can share the findings that from the workshops that we've done with other stakeholders that are part of this project. Um, to start off, can you just introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what is your experience of media production and what do you like about media production?
Hello, Ankita. Thanks for having me. I'm
Mhm.
happy to be a part of this project once again. My name is Jakob. I studied media engineering at the University of Applied Science in Germany. And during my studies, I worked 3 years at ISOB and took part in many funded projects, and one of them being Unileco. Um, Therefore, I helped organizing workshops and created various media such as print publications, videos, podcasts, interactive presentations, and websites for the projects. And I think media production is a very fascinating field because it serves as the bridge between creativity and technology. So one big aspect that I really like is the dynamic nature of media production. So whether it's producing videos, creating graphics, recording a podcast, the industry is in a constant state of transformation, adapting to the changing landscape of consumer preferences and technological innovations. So this really demands a constant innovation, making it an exciting playground for those who create the content. Um, Furthermore, media production allows for the exploration of diverse narratives and perspectives. So it's giving a voice to the people that usually maybe had or have no voice. So especially in times of social media, everyone gets the chance to tell his story and to get attention of thousands of people without having to have much budget for it. So in the end, you just need a smartphone and you can tell the world about the things that concern you and about the things that you think that are maybe going wrong in society. So that's
Mhm.
basically what I really like about media production, and that's who I am.
That's great. What you said, I kind of get the idea that social media is also, among many things, very empowering. So can you tell us more about how this connects to you working with the social enterprises?
Yeah, of course. So I have one example. We worked together with the KJF-Werkstätten in
Mhm.
Regensburg in Germany. The KJF-Werkstätten, they offer tailored jobs and professional training for over 1,500 people with disabilities. So therefore, they work together with large companies in the surrounding area. And in this way, they make an important contribution to inclusion, participation, um, and life in the society or community.
Mhm.
So partnering with social enterprises like the KJF-Werkstätten can offer really a myriad of experiences that are enriching and transformative for all involved. So during my time at ESOP, um, we organized a workshop on the topic of video production for the KJF-Werkstätten, and I think it was a really great experience. In the workshop, we developed a concept together with the employee supervisors in which the employees themselves should produce an image video to recruit new employees. So
Mhm.
the focus was on the fact that the conception and production of the video should really be carried by the employees with disabilities themselves, and that they should present their company as they see it themselves and as they want to. So in addition, everyone who wanted to take part in this project, so every employee could be part of this project and really was welcome. And yeah, the supervisors were happy for each contribution. So that's
Mhm.
what was a great experience.
That's great. So when you do this kind of workshop that you did with Coyotes, how do you approach, what is the best way to approach this, and what are some do's and don'ts to consider when you make such a workshop?
hmm Um, I think basically the most important thing is to assume that the audience has no or at least very little basic knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
in order to really get everyone on board. You should also try to involve the audience by asking lots of questions and appreciating their ideas, even if they maybe not are the ideas that you would have told or that you had in mind. But you have to get everyone in the boat and have to work together really. Yeah. If some of the participants already have previous experience, the content may then not be new to them, but they can enrich the workshop with practical tips and their experiences. So then when you do the workshop, it makes sense to divide the media production process into different topics and basic steps. So for example, the basic steps would be the conception, the production and post-production of the video. And then you can subdivide these steps into sub-steps. So really start with the basics of each topic and then try to consolidate and deepen this knowledge with practical examples and exercises for the participants. Our workshop, for example, was divided into 4 units, and each of these units contained conceptual and technical aspects. So my colleague Stephanie was responsible for the conceptual parts, and I was responsible for the technical parts. And if you want to, I can show you the presentation of the technical parts. Okay, so this is the technical part of our workshop with the KJF-Werkstätten. I think it's from day 3 or something. We started on this day with the presentation of the storyboards of the participants, and then I did my technical part on this day, where I really started to go on a very basic and low level about technical devices that you need for video production. So for example, here we see different lights that you need for video production and how you can use those lights to really put a person into the scene so that it has a nice look to it. Then of course you need a stativ, I don't know what it's in English right now, a microphone, and I really I explained the differences between the different mics and the different stative. So I really just went through all this in a very basic level. Here we have a little technical part as well, which is more on the software side. So I showed some different resolutions that are relevant today for video production. And I also gave some tips for the for producing in those resolutions. So here we had a little part about image composition. And then as last part of the workshop, we had the post-production, and there I created a little task where the participants should cut the videos that we produced before. So I explained the tool Camtasia and showed, okay, where in the tool or the software you can find, for example, the media that you import, where can you export, where can you cut, how does the cutting system really work. And I went through all this on a very low level so that I hope that everyone could get the idea of how video cutting software worked. And the aim was not to bring the people to being perfect professionals after the workshop, but that they get an idea of how media and videos really are created.
Thank you for that information about the technical and the digital production and post-production presentation that you gave. Considering the fact that digital and technical skills are required for media production, what support services are needed by various target groups?
Nowadays, I think you really would need basic training in using digital media for everybody, because media really determines our lives and have become an important part of almost all areas of life. So, for example, during COVID, you couldn't enter any place without having a smartphone with a working internet connection. And of course, that's not media production, but it's usage of media. So if you know how to use your smartphone to get in a restaurant, for example, you are more probably more likely to know how to produce a video with that smartphone. So you really need basic media knowledge course for everyone. That would be my suggestion, because the worst thing that could happen is that people who are less qualified are being left behind, and then they develop an ignorance of the topic, and in the future they have only more problems and more problems, because media is still in a constant shape of transformation. So we always have new technologies, and if you can't handle the technologies that we have right now, you won't be able to handle the technologies we have in 10 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the Uneleco project, in my opinion, really comes into play here by training digital learning coaches who then help those disadvantaged groups and prevent them from being left behind. So I think it's a great project, and I'm happy that I could be a small part of it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and taking the time to speak with us. I'm sure this will inform the people who are a part of the Unideco project, and will be a record of your contribution to the project. So thank you so much for taking the time and speaking with me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really happy. Thank you.